Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope we're all moving in the right directions. I hope we all are taking time for self. I hope we all are forgiving individuals, looking deeper within ourselves, forgiving ourselves, showing love, appreciation, understanding, and support. I hope we're all moving forward. I hope we're all moving forward. When you look at yourself, what do you see? Are you happy with the person that you see? Like when you really stand in a mirror and just look at you, how do you feel about you? I remember one time before in life when I used to look at myself and, I used to think that I was pretty. And I remember a time in my life when I used to look at myself and used to think that I was ugly. And I sit and I often think I was looking at the same person. Why at one point did I like myself and thought that I was pretty, but then at the next point I didn't like myself and thought that I was ugly? I think that a lot of that came from me leaning on what other people saw in me. Me taking what they saw and internalizing it with what I saw. And just saying, oh, okay. If you are told that you're pretty enough, you start to believe it. If you're told that you're ugly enough, you'll start to believe that. I never once really got into me and tried to figure out what I saw. What do I see? Not what someone tells me, not what people say, but what really do I see? What do I think about me? Today, I neither think that I'm ugly nor pretty. Today, I think that when I look at myself, I think that I'm blessed. I think that I'm a wonderful person that God has preserved because of all the bad things that I've done and how I used to live my life. It's no wonder that those things haven't taken a toll on my physical, mental, and emotional state of being. Because for so many people, they do. When you drink a whole lot, it starts changing you and changing your features and changing your body. Um, I used to smoke a whole lot of weed, and that changes you. When I look at me now, I just feel grateful. I feel like He's kept me, and I appreciate that. Because while He was taking care of me, I wasn't. I wasn't taking care of me at all. I was destroying me. I was destroying my body. I was destroying my mental, my physical, my emotional, my spiritual. I was destroying me with the things that I put in my body, with the people that I associated with the way that I was living my life. I was destroying me. And meanwhile, while I was destroying me, he was keeping me preserved for something greater than I could even imagine. It's best to stop putting labels on people, putting labels on self, putting this weight on yourself, trying to meet a standard, trying to meet everyone else's expectations, trying to emulate, trying to change who you are to be someone that you're not. And a lot of us do that. A lot of us do that. A lot of us get lost in the images that we see on TV. That's why so many, a lot of people, go through these weight loss things. And it's cool to lose weight, but it's extreme. It's extreme. A lot of people are not eating properly. The anorexia, the bulimia. I think that's the word for it, bulimia. But, those people that eat and then they vomit it back up. Uh, I never understood that. I never understood that. Getting these cosmetic surgeries and things of that nature, changing your physical appearances. Are you not happy with yourself? Are you not happy with yourself in the way that you were created? We have to change that, and we have to understand that those things don't make us. It's just a shell. It's just the body that we were given. The greater part of us is that which is in our spirit, in our soul, that lies in the core of who we are. Those things are vain. It's vanity, and I swear it takes you outside of yourself trying to keep up with all these other people around you. And when you really think about it, the most important thing is not how you look on the outside, but how you are on the inside. And a lot of people are blinded by that. They really are. A lot of people are not happy with themselves, and they do things to bring a whole lot of attention to themselves. A whole lot of attention to themselves just to feel something, just to get someone to notice them, to pay them some attention. They do outrageous things, dressing outrageously, acting outrageously. We have to start loving ourselves and stop looking for other people to validate us. Stop looking for other people to give us worth and value. We have to. It is very important because we're losing ourselves in all these things that's going on around us. And it's not good. It's really not good. I mean, everyone, I love a wonderful, a beautiful man, right? But my thing is this, and I've had some really nice looking men, but the core of them was tainted and corrupt. You know? They were cheaters, they were liars, they were beaters, they were manipulators. So what they possessed on the outside didn't match what was on the inside. And you have to go through a whole lot, to even get 1% of the goodness that they possess on the outside, to get it from them, from their actions. You know. It's very, very little that they have to really offer you to make you feel good. To make you, to give you, you know, that same feeling that you get when you look at them on the outside. Them little butterflies in your stomach because they look so good. But then when they start going about life and doing day-to-day things and you interacting with them and everything, you barely feel any movement in you, in your spirit, in your soul, in any part of you. That's no good. That's no good. I would rather be at this point in time in my life with a man who moves me from the inside out, who makes me feel good based on the things that he does, based on his character, and who he is as a person versus how he looks, how he appears. Someone who's confident and feels good about self without doing all that extra stuff. You know. We have to. I remember back in the days, the women were just such great women. The men was just such great men. They were full of virtue. They were just so. Just the core of them, the morals, the principles, and all the things that they were about and what they stood for was just great. It was nothing to see a man in a suit and tie. And every day that's how they dress. And just looking real fresh and debonair and just, like a man, you know? Like a man. And I'm not saying nothing about skinny jeans. Skinny jeans cool, but some of them just, they make you look like a woman when they too, just too tight. Just too tight. The dress code, the dress code has just changed so much. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's nothing. If I had to choose, I want the man in the suit. I want the man in the suit, not the man with the muscle shirt and all this and that, trying to show all his cuts and all that. Because, sometimes we do all those things so we can, it's deception. We want to deceive people. We want them to focus on what they see and not what we really bring to the table. You know. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Just focus on what you see. And because of that, they're blindsided by all the other things that you bring to the table that are negative. They really are. Men are blindsided by physical. Women are blindsided by physical. Money, material possessions. We all are. You know. And we have to wake up from that. I used to be. I used to be. I really used to be. But now, I just look at my life experiences and what those things brought me, and, all the pain that I had to endure with the people like that. And it's like, no, I don't care if you're riding around in a hoopty, you know, so what? At one point it wasn't even cool to have a job. If you wasn't on the street selling drugs, you was a nobody. Give me a man with a job any day. And see, we have some opportunities to go somewhere in life. A man that's on them streets, back then, we ain't talking about now. Now the drug game over. The man that's on the streets, like you gotta worry every single day about your life, his life. You know, that's too much. I'm not that adventurous. I used to be. you know, I used to be because I wasn't conscious. You know, but when you gain consciousness, it's like that's too much worry. That's too much on your mind. All the other things you got to worry about in the course of a day. Now I got to add that to my plate of things to worry about. Mm-mm. No, it takes too much of your brain time, and it drains you. It really does. It drains you. But give me a man in a suit any day. Give me a man with a job. You know, we don't have to have much when we come together. We can build to get what we want to be. You know, as long as we have it all mentally, physically, as far as you know, putting forth the efforts. When I say physically, putting forth like moving in that stuff. You know, not just saying, "Oh, I want to do X, Y, Z," but you're not making no moves towards. Okay, no, you know, spiritually, as long as we have those things, we can build an empire. You know, together. We don't have to have it coming in to a situation. It's because sometimes that hinders you because in the back of your mind, when you have things, you just always some people, not all, wonder, are they really in it for all the right reasons? But if you come together with a little pot, and you build with that little pot together, you know that they in it for the right reasons. And I would rather have someone to be honest with that I can build with. Because humble beginnings is the best. It really is the best. You know. We start humbly. Together we on the right side. When we on the same accord, we gonna grow humbly. But a lot of people who have money and all this and all that, humility went out the window a long time ago. It really did. And me personally, I can't be with anyone who's not humble. Who doesn't understand that everything that you got is a blessing and that it can be taken away. It just is what it is. You know, like everything in life, it can be taken away. I don't, I just really, I wish that our mindsets could reverse and go back, in those times where, the women and the men had more pride and dignity and more respect for self. Because everything starts with self. If you have it for self, you'll have it for everyone and everything. And it will be a blessing if we can get back to those times, you know, where people was modest, trustworthy. And of course, we all had, but the majority was modest, trustworthy, respectful. It would be nice to have those times back. It would be nice for all of us to really think about how we have changed over the years and gotten away from all those good, wholesome lessons that we were taught as children and go back for them and start living in those lessons today and start doing things a little bit differently. It would be nice if we could just all look at each other and just feel nothing but love. It really would. I mean, we don't have to be envious. We don't have to hate. I don't get what it is with all this hate. I swear I don't. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. And I really, honestly, in my opinion, think it stems from self hate. Like those, I really honestly believe that those people who have that deep seated hate in them, they hate themselves. They hate themselves and don't know how to deal with that. And so they lash out on other people. They take their angers out on other people. And that's why it's important for all of us to stay spiritually grounded. Spiritually grounded, you know. Because we fall into these moments of weakness. And if we're not careful, we can do some really, really hurtful things to people. We can say some really, really hurtful things to people. We can be very malicious, you know. And we don't even realize it until after we've done it. And that's because it's so much deep down inside of us, you know, that we're trying to cover up, trying to bury, when we need to dig it up, really. It makes no sense to try to bury. I know I'm the queen of trying to bury some situation. I tell you, anything that I couldn't deal with, I just took it and put it to the back of my mind and just let it go. And it buried itself. It dug a hole so deep. And I never really realized that I was doing it. And I got so good at doing it that a lot of things would hurt me, but I didn't know that I was even hurting. And then something would trigger a memory, and I would just be like, so it would be really, really bad. It would be really, really bad. Like, I didn't know that I was still hurting over certain situations. In some situations, I didn't know that I was hurt about it at all until I had to really be confronted with it. And then, you know, the pain of it surfaced. And when it surfaced, when you bury things in the pain, that's for me, in the pain of it, and it really, it rises up in you. I mean, everything comes with it. And it's such an unstable situation to be in. It really is. And then most of the times, you know, when I would go through those moments, I didn't even understand why I was so upset. I had to really start thinking, like, why are you upset? Why are you crying? Why are you mad? And then, you know, as I'm going through this process of asking myself what's going on and why do I feel this way, then my mind started, everything started surfacing. And then I started seeing clearly, you know, I'm still hurt behind that situation, or I was hurt. And I just, you know, I just didn't express that. You know, I wouldn't let myself believe that I felt anything. That's a sickness. That's a sickness when you yourself don't even know that you're in pain. And that's no good. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that's like that. You know. And but we have to start dealing with our issues and give ourselves a chance. So that when we look at ourselves, we feel nothing but, you know, admiration and love, and you know, just we have to feel good about ourselves. That would change a lot of things if we really felt good about ourselves and really saw worth in ourselves. A lot of the things that we do, we wouldn't do because we would hold ourselves up here, and we'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not disrespecting myself," you know. I'm not doing that. I'm not lowering myself, so on and so forth. We have to we have to start getting in tune with ourselves. We have to start looking at ourselves and really feeling good. You know, we don't need other people to make us feel good. And it is wonderful when you have people and, you know, they compliment you, so on and so forth. It's wonderful. Everyone needs that because it keeps you moving, you know. But to live off of it, for that to be your whole existence, no. No, I used to have a friend when we would go out. If she wasn't getting attention at the club, she ain't want to go. She ain't want to be there. Okay, it's time to go. Me personally, I came to dance. I came for the music. You know, I've always been a music person. I love, love, love me some music. And back in my younger day, so when I would go to the club, basically that's what I'm going for. I'm not going if I met someone, okay, but I learned early that I don't want to meet people at the club. You know why? Because I wasn't a clubber, but I would go with her to just for the atmosphere, the music and stuff like that, and and the free drinks that other people would be buying me. Um, I learned early that meeting people at the club was no good. It was no good because the same people are there every week. They doing the same things. I mean, meeting and greeting, and a lot of them go for the meet and greet. A whole lot of them. Very few people go to the club just for the atmosphere, the club atmosphere being, music, so on and so forth. People go to meet people. And I personally feel like that's the worst place to meet someone at the club. I just, yeah. I remember going, I did see somebody there that I liked, but he ain't stepped to me, I ain't stepped to him. We just kept it like that. But going there solely with the purpose of meeting, I don't know. Then there may be some relationships that, people are in and they met at the club and that thing just thriving. It's just going. They've been together for years. It may be. Uh, but I don't know. I just don't think that's a good idea, personally. I think there's other places that we can meet people, and have a better chance at something good and long lasting than at the club. But yeah, we have to stop living off of, you know, the need to be felt, to be validated by other people, for people to I mean, people do drive us, they do, but your everything you do just based on how someone else is going to perceive you, what someone else is going to say, and how that everything that someone else does is what moves you and keep you going. That's no good. You need to move you and keep you going. It's real. And I used to like a lot of attention. Now I hate attention. Attention, no, no. When you've had a lot and it's been mostly negative, you tend to. I can live without attention. I really can. You know, back in your younger days, we do things. We all do things, but most of these people that I'm talking to, we're adults. And as adults, we have to change our ways. And we take some of our childhood stuff into our adulthood, and 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 make it right in our lives. And it's not. With time, you progress, you change, you build, you move forward, and some things happen. Life happens, but we have to be constantly in a state of awareness, and especially now because anybody listening, you're getting the message of how important it is to be in a state of awareness and how important it is to keep on moving forward. So we have to keep on doing that. We really do. And we have to be loving ourselves. We have to love ourselves first. And we can't be putting ourselves on the back burner for the love of other people. Because that's not love. Anyone who requires you to do that, they don't love you. You have to love you first. Right? And if you're not loving you, don't expect anybody else to. If you're not being good and respectful of you and yourself and your body, don't expect anybody else to. So we have to change the way we're doing things when it comes to us, how we interact with ourselves, because that in turn will change how people interact with us. If a man see you out there, your butt all hanging out and breasts all this and that and that, I mean, you can only imagine that he's gonna interact with you because I ain't even gonna lie. Back in the day, only prostitutes dressed like that. I'm just saying. So when you just walking up and down the street dressed like that, I don't know. You kind of put yourself in a situation where you can get labels, and that's what you don't want to do. That's what you don't want to do. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing a nice little cute skirt don't that cover up, nice little cute pants that cover up a shirt that cover. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? We got to stop letting these meaningless things get in the way of the meaningful things. Okay? And we got to start putting ourselves out there on the auction block. We got to start loving ourselves and demanding love. And we got to start respecting ourselves and demanding respect. Can't demand something that you're not giving. Okay? And the way to earn it is to show it in everything you do. And it starts with you. All right? So just look in the mirror and ask yourself, how do I feel about me? How do I feel about me? Everyone should be asking themselves that question. How do I feel about me? And I hope you're coming up with some good answers. If not, it's time for a change. Okay? Let's start loving ourselves so others can love us. Not the other way around. That's backwards. All right. I love y'all. I'll get at y'all soon. MJK.